maybe heavy metal toxicity or something like that's going to be sitting in a sauna for 5 minutes a day or something like that, a few days a week until we can get up there, build up their detoxification through their sweating, through their skin. Liver and gallbladder, we make bile, and bile is something that you all are very familiar with, maybe here at True North if you've done water fasting, if you've had reflux, or you've felt like you've had acid reflux or indigestion. The gallbladder, the liver is the manufacturing and the processing plant for a lot of the toxins in the body. So we make them, they go out into the bile, they get put into the stool, and they come out that way. The kidneys filters about 200 quarts of blood a day, and we make about 2 quarts of urine. So all of your blood in your body is filtered through the kidneys. The kidneys takes the toxins and whatever else in the waste, and it puts it out into the urine. So that's where toxins come from. So that's how if we ever do a test for like leaky gut, for example, and we have you drink something, we know if something came out in your urine that you absorbed it, because let's real quick, I want to talk about inside and outside the body. Inside, if something's in our digestive tract, it's actually outside of the body. Okay, it has to get absorbed across the walls of the intestine into the body to actually be considered in the body. So if you absorb something and it comes into the body, we can see that through something. If it comes out into the urine, if you took it in, it comes out into the urine, that means you absorbed it into your body, got into your bloodstream, and was filtered out in the kidneys. The lungs, breathing, so that's why if you eat garlic or onions or something like that, you always smell it on the breath. No matter how much mint gum you chew or how many mints you have, you have this sulfurous smell on your breath. It's because the sulfurous compounds are only metabolized in the lungs. So there you go. So you're always going to metabolize the things, and you're going to smell them out in the breath. Excretory glands, this is going to be like breast milk for mothers. So when they have a baby, they excrete dioxins and things like that. The baby can actually pick those up. So the phases of detoxification. So this is a super simplified diagram, and it's actually a lot more fun to look at than a lot of the really extravagant and extreme ones that I had that were out there. So toxins come in, they go into phase 1 detoxification. Phase 1 detoxification is, and you'll see a lot in the literature, as cytochrome P450 enzymes. And those enzymes can either be sped up or they can be slowed down with drugs and a whole myriad of other things. So we take a chemical that's usually fat soluble, and we have to take it, so like oil and vinegar don't mix, right? Well, we have to take that oily stuff, the toxins, and convert it into something that's actually soluble in like the liquid, like the water, the vinegar, for example. Just we're using that as an example. So how we do that is we take something, we we modify the fat soluble component, and then we add a nutrient onto it, and that actually makes it more water soluble, and then we get rid of that into the urine. So phase 1 takes a fat soluble toxin and turns it into something that's a little bit more harmful, but ready for the phase 2 detoxification, which takes an actual substrate or like a nutrient and adds it onto the actual product from this category right here, and then we can get rid of it in the urine or in the stool. And these things can be also excreted in the lungs, urine. You can see bile. This is going to go into the stool, the sweat. Here's the stool right here too. So this is a very simplified diagram, but there's a lot of things that can actually change the phase 1 detoxification right here. And I'll kind of go into this more in detail. We're going to come back around to this. So let's talk about fasting, what fasting does. So fasting has been known to enhance and increase phase 1 detoxification. So you have phase 1 and you have phase 2. Now phase 2, in phase 1, it's important to speed that up if we want to get rid of a lot of toxins. So we're breaking down fat, we're releasing fat-soluble toxins into the body, and that's why we have a lot of symptoms at that period too for a lot of people. So they'll experience a lot of different, a whole myriad of symptoms, and I'll list those here in a little bit. But it's at the actual choke point for detoxification is for fasting is the part where we have to take nutrients, which phase 2 is the second part of detoxification. So fasting speeds up phase 1, but it doesn't speed up phase 2. So what happens is you increase the first part, but you don't increase the second part. So where do we see the increase in the second part come in? And I'll just give you a hint. Dr. Goldhammer tells me that there's enhanced detoxification with refeeding. So when you start refeeding, it's really where the rubber hits the road as far as maximum detoxification. That's where we see things really, really speeding up. That's where we see you really eliminating a lot. So this is detoxification.